We need to solve this problem.
Illegal immigration.
Illegal immigrants who come from Mexico.
Angel Island immigration.
It is a national security border
during
during racist
process.
It's a human rights issue.
Comprehensive immigration reform.
He verifies
how Democrats think even if something doesn't pass, they can get the politics of this are very
is complicated.
The Gang of Eight plan has a tough border enforcement component. 90% apprehension rate, 100% surveillance rate. How far are we from that now on our southwest border?
Well, in some regions, it's important to understand there is no one border. The border is broken up into 9 different sectors, and in some sectors that's probably being achieved today for different measures, but in others it's not. At least three sectors are far from that number, and that's what the number needs to come up to. And as our plan is going to outline, if in fact it fails to reach that metric, then the Homeland Security will lose control of this issue. It will actually be turned over to a border commission made up of local officials from those states most impacted. They will have money set aside so they can solve it for those people themselves. And so we're confident it's achievable. It'll take some time, but it's not just border security. You have to think about E-Verify as part of this bill. It's a universal E-Verify. That's a critical component of this as well, as is the entry-exit tracking system, because 40% of illegal immigrants are people that came legally and they overstayed. And we're going to deal with that issue as well. You have to all three work together.
Illegals are going to have to wait probably 15 years before they can become citizens. They get temporary legal status, I guess it's called probationary legal status, as soon as the Department of Homeland Security announces that it has this plan, that it's going to begin this plan, and that's going to be within months. Question, why isn't that amnesty? Because, in fact, you are giving legal status to people who have broken the law. And most people here in Washington think once they have that status, even if it's called temporary, it's never going to get revoked, Senator.
Well, I think that's where people are misunderstanding. They don't get anything. What they get is the opportunity to apply for it. They still have to qualify for it, meaning they have to pass the background check, they have to be able to pay a registration fee, they have to pay a fine, and then they have to renew it. This is not forever. This is a renewable thing, and then they don't qualify for any federal benefits. This is an important point. No federal benefits, no food stamps, no welfare, no Obamacare. They have to prove that they're gainfully employed. They have to be able to support themselves so they'll never become a public charge. These are all the things they're going to have to do just to keep that status. And the only thing that happens is that they will have to stay in that status until at least 10 years elapses and the triggers are met. All that has to happen. And then the only thing they get is the chance to apply for a green card via the legal immigration system. We do not award anything to anyone.
We are serious about border security.
We are going to secure the border.
There has to be 100% situational awareness of the border.
The grand old party is hung up on border security.
The Senate is debating its version of the immigration reform package.
If this bill fails and we do nothing, that's de facto amnesty.
This bill is going to pass the Senate. This bill will not pass the House.
If immigration reform is to pass through the House,
My goal is always to bring bills to the floor that have a strong Republican majority.
John Boehner likely will have to do it with Democratic votes.
Immigration reform, it's a very difficult issue.
Remember this, we're still in the Senate.
Leahy from Vermont, he wants gay illegal aliens to bring in their gay friends.
The right wing of the Republican Party does not want immigration reform.
If that happens, the bill is dead.
Marco Rubio has been doing something remarkably interesting.
I respect people's views on the issue, but that is not this is already tough enough as it is.
He's playing this down the both sides of both middles.
If that gets on the bill's going to die. There's no doubt about it.
I've never seen a politician do that.
I mean, if amnesty goes through, it's over. You have 11 million instantly legalized.
If this bill fails, that's de facto amnesty.
We'll never win another national election. Thank you, Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio announced a new bill that would require immigrants to learn English.
Thank you, Marco Rubio.
Many Americans already say it's the goodest news they has heard all year.
They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. So that's fine by me.